What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman. Now, it's been exactly a week since the news broke. Disney booked an entire 2-hour and 45-minute slot opening night at the upcoming CinemaCon in the end of March, prompting a ton of questions as to whether there'd be any Marvel Phase 4 or even Marvel Phase 5 slate reveals. And in the video I did covering that, I immediately dismissed any said questions. That's not Marvel Studios' normal MO for huge announcements and cons, but in the week that followed was absolutely insane. We got more news per capita than we have in the last 2 months alone, and one franchise in particular seemed to stay in headlines, the Fantastic Four, on at least 3 separate occasions for pretty big reasons. And now, last night, one of the most ubiquitous concept artists who does work alongside Marvel posting 2 specific images that really have us rethinking our stance on whether or not an announcement's coming at CinemaCon, and maybe even specifically about the Fantastic Four. We're going to break down this crazy week of news, not just about the first family, but also about Doctor Strange and what the likelihood is that we'll actually get slate announcements or any new property or franchise reveals from Marvel Studios at CinemaCon. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we're giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, as well as a whole slew of other Marvel related stuff, including a limited edition Infinity Saga box set. All you have to do to be entered to win, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Now, first things first, and credit where credit's totally due, this really all started with industry insider Mikey Sutton leading the pack and breaking the exclusive this week that Marvel Studios had in fact officially started work on the Fantastic Four franchise, and although pre-production was in its infancy with no lead actors or director attached, they were trying to figure out the best way to introduce the first family to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which may include a cameo from none other than Tom Holland's Peter Parker. Then, as the news began to flood out this week, and I literally mean flood out this week, as we found out a ton, everything from official castings to synopsises, most heavily about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, was the key headline yesterday's Emily Blunt meeting with Marvel Studios while filming on an ancillary Disney property in Jungle Cruise about an upcoming film. And considering her ties to the role of Invisible Woman, it was beginning to look more and more likely not only that Mikey Sutton was absolutely on the money with the wheels have just begun to turn for the Fantastic Four, but that also the speculation that an announcement may be coming at the upcoming CinemaCon may be likely as well. And then yesterday, as I referred to him in the prologue as one of the most ubiquitous concept artists, and if anybody really knows the deal with Boss Logic, let me know down in the comments. I'm sure somebody does. I didn't think that he was licensed by Marvel, but after he did an unofficial Twitter banner for the Russos, then you've seen him at Comic-Cons even doing alternate posters and covers from Spider-Man Far From Home and selling licensed Marvel concept art. It's hard to tell if he works for them or is third party. If any of you know the details, leave them in the comments. I'll make sure to pin them, or Boss Logic, if you watch the channel, hit me up. Either way, he's the best in the game. And last night, to his personal Instagram account, and again with his realignment closer to Marvel just feeling a little more official, he posted 2 images, the first of which his own concept art of Emily Blunt as Invisible Woman with the simple quote, Phase 4, followed by him later posting this concept image of the Fantastic Four turned into a Phase 4 logo with the quote, I feel like we may get some news soon, and a smiley face. Again, this is the guy who did concept art for Mahershala Ali as Blade months before it was announced, who also did an alternate cover for Spider-Man Far From Home that was for sale on the DVD in Targets across America. It's hard to tell just how close he is to Marvel Studios and whether he would get any information like this, and surely if he did, he would be under a very strict NDA not to share that information, and wouldn't risk a job with Marvel if he truly does work for them just to leak to us all the Fantastic Four are coming. Plus, we don't need him to do that. We have Mikey Sutton to do that instead. Now, as I mentioned in the prologue, it wasn't just all Fantastic Four this week. Doctor Strange 2 seems to be in full effect, and that's not a coincidence given 2 things. A, not just the announcement that CinemaCon is coming up, but B, we are rapidly approaching their film time, and Marvel Studios immediately came out after Scott Derrickson left the project and said there would be no delay. They would press forward with filming in May in lieu of not having an announcement yet quote unquote an announcement yet regarding a new director, and then remembering that they've almost straight doubled the number of productions they're doing, it seems like they may need to double or at least add to commensurate to how many properties they've got the number of announcements they're doing. And that's why CinemaCon coming up here in a couple of months is looking more and more likely for a place for them to do that, considering some announcements they have to make. Eventually they're going to have to tell us who is directing Doctor Strange 2, and if they want to do so through an exclusive via Deadline or Variety or even Entertainment Weekly as they've done in the past, they could choose to do that. But if you look at their track record, Marvel Studios usually chooses to use publications like that in order to promote upcoming releases, and prefers to save things like casting reveals and or director introductions for the community connection of a San Diego Comic-Con or D23, or even the more recent CCXP where Kevin Feige showed up for the very first time after Marvel Studios having been there for years, and now a full 2 hour and 45 minute slate reveal for Disney at the upcoming CinemaCon. Again, a great time to mention that 2 hour and 45 minute slate is not just for Marvel alone, it's for Disney. And while Marvel may be one of their more popular brands and will certainly command a good chunk of that time, you've got to remember Disney's going to be there with Star Wars as well, and Pixar, and now 20th Century Fox that's been named 20th Century Studios. They have a release coming out in New Mutants. There's going to be a ton of other brands vying for that time. But with all of that being said, and the final thought I'll leave you with, it's looking more and more likely there might actually be a group of announcements to accompany whatever new footage they're going to show in the way of trailers, perhaps for the Eternals and definitely Black Widow at CinemaCon. And although they won't have any new footage, obviously, from a movie like the Fantastic Four where they haven't even cast it yet, and something like CinemaCon usually is for moviegoers to get snippets of all the upcoming films from the franchises that they love. Obviously, one of those doesn't match the other. It doesn't mean that the fans wouldn't be super excited alongside new footage to find out something about the new properties, including, of course, casting reveals. But what seems like way more up their alley as cinephiles is a director introduction, perhaps for Doctor Strange and even the Fantastic Four, getting to know them a little better and understanding what their vision for the upcoming film is. That seems like something that's super adjacent to the sort of stuff that normally goes on at CinemaCon. And you have to remember they're not playing this directly to the comic book fans. As mainstream as that's become, it's not the only interest of the people there. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments about all of this. Are you on the hype train for Fantastic Four the way we all are, especially after this week of a ton of headlines? And do you agree with me that with the number of properties they're doing now and with limited time at all of these events, look, 2 hours and 45 minutes at one, they filled up San Diego Comic-Con, they used the full 30 minutes they were allotted at D23, they're running out of time and space. Feels like they have to squeeze this in where they can, and I'm sure in lieu of not getting a full casting reveal for the Fantastic Four, if even we found out there was an official director attached, that would make a ton of headlines and definitely satiate fans who feel like they went to a CinemaCon to get some sort of exclusive. What an exclusive that would be indeed. One last piece of bad news for all of you hoping to catch a snippet of whatever goes on during Marvel's presentation and Disney's presentation at CinemaCon. That conference is on total lockdown. Not in the way D23 and San Diego Comic-Con are, where they simply ask you to put away your phones. They literally confiscate them, and or they're not allowed on grounds, and if you're found with one, then you're escorted out. They can't have any recording devices around a CinemaCon that's based on exclusive footage that hasn't been released to the public. The temptation would just be too great. But of course, they can't stop the dissemination of knowledge, and as soon as people leak it out leaving the hall, we of course will report it secondhand here. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments about all of this, and quickly let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We're still giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, the next of which is at the 600,000 subscriber mark. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell with notifications turned on, leave a like and a comment on this video, and that'll automatically enter you to win all the rest of the prizes we're giving away at the channel, including the limited edition Infinity Saga box set. We just gave one away on New Year's Eve, and we'll be giving this one away on the 2nd anniversary of the channel in April. We also gave away 3 PlayStation 4 Pros in the last 30 to 60 days, 1 at the 550 mark and 2 at the 500 mark. If you've missed any of the past winner announcements, no worries. All you have to do, scroll back through the channel, look look for the winner announcement plus the subscriber mark in the title. Hit that and then scroll to the end. You'll hear them all announced there. And all the same rules apply as we double down the number of prizes we're giving away this year over the next 2 years, all the way up to $1 million. All the same rules apply. If you want to be entered to win the PlayStations, the Infinity Saga box set, all the other prizes, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell with notifications turned on, leave a like and a comment on this video, and because it's truly random, the more videos you like and comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced in video. My name's Michael Roman. This is Everything Always, guys. Thanks so much for checking out the channel, and stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.